The cafe's chatter froze as Sarah's wineglass shattered on the tiled floor. Crimson liquid pooling like blood at her feet. Her voice, sharp and trembling, sliced through the hum of conversation. "I'm done, Michael. I can't keep pretending we're okay." My fork hovered midair, a bite of salmon dangling, as every eye in the room swiveled toward us. Her words weren't just a statement. They were a detonation, splintering the fragile normalcy we'd stitched together over months of silences and half-truths. I felt my pulse hammer in my throat, but I smiled, tight and deliberate, and raised my glass. "To freedom, then," I said, loud enough for the gawking strangers to hear. "Let's all celebrate." The air in the cafe was thick with the scent of espresso and rosemary, but it couldn't mask the sour tang of my own dread. For weeks, I'd sensed the fracture in her. Phone screens tilted away, late nights at work. Her laughter too bright when she spoke to someone named Chris. I'd rationalized it all. Stress, exhaustion, maybe a midlife crisis at 32. But now, her green eyes glinted with something raw. Guilt, defiance, or both. And I knew this wasn't just a fight. This was the endgame of something I'd refused to name. I set my glass down, the clink against the table louder than it should have been. "What's this about, Sarah?" My voice stayed low, steady, but inside, my thoughts churned like storm clouds. Was it the late-night texts? The perfume I didn't recognize on her scarf? Or was I the fool, projecting shadows where there were none? Her fingers twisted the napkin in her lap, shredding it into confetti, and she wouldn't meet my gaze. "I just can't do this anymore," she said, her voice cracking like thin ice. The vagueness of it infuriated me, but I swallowed the urge to demand answers. Not here, not with the couple at the next table pretending not to eavesdrop. The waiter hovered, unsure whether to clear the broken glass or retreat. I waved him off with a forced chuckle. "We're fine," I lied, my eyes locked on Sarah. She was beautiful even now, her auburn hair catching the dim glow of the pendant lights. But her beauty felt like a blade. How long had she been planning this? Days. Months. I replayed our last year together, her distracted kisses, the way she'd flinch when I touched her unexpectedly. Each memory was a pinprick, sharp and cumulative, but I'd dismissed them, convinced love could weather doubt. Now doubt was all I had. "Let's go outside," I said, standing, my chair scraping the floor. The cafe's warmth felt suffocating, the walls closing in with every curious glance. Sarah hesitated, then followed, her heels clicking like a countdown. Outside, the autumn air was crisp, biting at my knuckles as I shoved my hands into my coat pockets. The street was alive with the hum of evening traffic, headlights smearing yellow across wet pavement. "Talk," I said, my breath clouding in the chill. "No audience now. What's really going on?" Her lips parted, then closed, as if the truth was a weight she couldn't lift. "Michael, she stopped, her eyes darting to the sidewalk, where a cigarette butt smoldered in a puddle. "I've been seeing someone." The words landed like a fist, knocking the air from my lungs. My mind scrambled to process it, to stitch together the clues I'd ignored. The client dinners, the new earrings I hadn't bought, the way she'd hum a song I didn't know. "Chris?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. She nodded, a tear slipping down her cheek, and I hated how much I still wanted to wipe it away. I turned away, staring at the neon sign flickering across the street. Its buzz filled the silence, a mocking pulse against the ache in my chest. "How long?" I asked, not sure I wanted the answer. 6 months, she said, her voice small but steady. 6 months. Half a year of lies, of her body next to mine while her heart was elsewhere. I wanted to scream, to shatter something the way she'd shattered that glass, but instead I laughed, a hollow bitter sound. "You staged this tonight, didn't you? Made it public so I couldn't make a scene." Her silence was answer enough. I saw it now. The calculated choice of the crowded cafe, the dramatic flourish of the broken glass. She'd wanted witnesses, a stage to force my restraint. And I'd played along, smiling like an idiot, toasting to my own humiliation. Anger surged hot and jagged, but beneath it was something worse, grief, raw and unmoored. I loved her. Even now, standing in the wreckage of us, I loved her. "Why didn't you just tell me?" I asked, turning to face her. Her coat was unbuttoned, her hands trembling as she hugged herself against the cold. I didn't want to hurt you, she said, and the lie in her voice was so blatant it stung. Bullshit, I snapped, stepping closer. You didn't want to feel guilty. You wanted to control the narrative, to make me the bad guy who couldn't keep you. Her eyes widened, but she didn't deny it. The truth hung between us, heavy and undeniable. I thought of Chris, faceless, nameless except for her whispered phone calls. Was he kinder? Funnier? Did he make her feel alive in ways I hadn't? The questions clawed at me, but I didn't ask them. Instead, I remembered our early days. Her laugh at my terrible puns. The way she'd curl into me during thunderstorms. The promise we'd made to face the world together. Those memories felt like ghosts now, haunting the space between us. I'm sorry, she said, and for a moment I believed her. But sorry wasn't enough. It couldn't undo the nights I'd spent wondering why she felt so far away, or the mornings I'd woken to her staring at the ceiling, lost in thoughts she wouldn't share. What now? I asked, my voice breaking despite myself. She looked at me, her eyes a mix of pity and resolve. I'm moving out. Tonight. The finality of it hit like a second betrayal. I saw our apartment in my mind. The books we'd argued over, the coffee mugs with chipped rims, the bed where we'd loved and fought and dreamed. She was erasing it all, rewriting our story without me. I wanted to beg her to stay, to fight for us, but pride, or maybe exhaustion, kept me silent. Instead I nodded, my throat tight. Okay. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. The street felt too small, the city too loud. I needed to escape, to breathe, to make sense of the void she'd carved in me. As she walked away, her silhouette blurring in the mist, I stood rooted, replaying her confession. 6 months. 6 months of lies, and I'd been too blind, or too in love to see. Then my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Meet me. We need to talk about Sarah. My heart stuttered. It was Chris. The name glowed on the screen, a final twist of the knife. I stared at the message, the neon signs buzz filling my ears, and realized the betrayal wasn't over. It was just beginning.